Hey everybody, it's Daniel Long coming to you from King, North Carolina. I'm actually in my choir room. I'm a minister of music, and sometimes, at least during the day, this is the quietest place on campus. The halls in our office get kind of busy sometimes. This is actually my second video for this week. The first one I posted it on Wednesday night and played it back, and everything looked good. And I went to bed and got up this morning, and it was gone. So I'm not sure what happened there, but honestly, it's probably okay because I was tired and probably wasn't a very good video anyway. I was having a hard time articulating. So anyway, this week we are talking about tradition. And as an average Baptist, to be perfectly honest, I never gave a whole lot of thought to tradition through most of my life, with the exception of we didn't hold, as Baptists and Protestants, we don't hold to the view of Catholic tradition. But other than that, that's pretty much where I've stood. This has been a very interesting study, very interesting lectures. I never thought of having multiple views of tradition besides that of Protestantism and Catholicism. I definitely hold to the T1 view of tradition. But I would say that I grew up in a background of T0, and that is we don't believe in tradition. We want is Jesus. Just give me Jesus. Don't give me any of those nonsense creeds. Don't give me any necessarily statements of faith. Just give me Jesus. Scripture alone. And as a youth, that's what I thought sola scriptura was. I didn't realize that you could hold to sola scriptura and sacred, with a capital S, sacred tradition. But that's definitely where I am now, not only from this class, but from my other seminary studies. Everyone holds to a tradition of some sort. Even those, I would say, that hold to a T0 are still going to appeal to tradition, because they may say they don't have any use for creeds, but as soon as you say, hey, what's the Trinity? Explain the Trinity to me. And they say, well, really anything. Well, lo and behold, you've just used a creed. Maybe it's in your own words, but it is a creed. You've went through a synthesis process, and given someone an explanation of what the Trinity is. So another interesting aspect of this study, in my mind, I agree with the T1, T2, and T0 traditions, or classifications of tradition. In my personal experience, I've seen another one, though, and I would probably call that maybe a T negative one, and that's people who aren't necessarily neutral on tradition, or who just don't see a need for it, but people who are antagonistic toward any sort of tradition. And the reason I say that, this is a subject that holds a lot of interest for me because I grew up Baptist, but I married a woman who grew up in a charismatic church. Well, she's very much Baptist now, so I really straightened her out there. No, I'm just kidding. But she is very much Baptist now and leans Reformed, but her parents are still very, very charismatic. So whenever we go to the beach, whenever we have family dinners, or just times we're just sitting around the living room and we talk about Scripture, this idea of tradition comes up because they cannot stand any sort of creed, even a statement of faith, because they feel like it binds Scripture. Like our tradition is not Catholic in two traditions, but they feel that the historical creeds are putting Scripture in a box. And I've tried to explain over and over and over that that's not how we view tradition, but it's really been to no avail. So as we continue this study, as the term moves on, I am very interested to see what the rest of you have to say And I'm sure this is systematic theology. I'm positive the application to charismatics is going to come up again, because they don't like really even the idea of systematizing theology. So I'm very curious to hear how if any of the rest of you have anything to say, whether it's about tradition or really through the rest of the course. So hope the rest of y'all have a wonderful week. You're doing well, and we'll see you in the forums soon. God bless.